Hi there, how you doing? I'm Mixed Up and welcome to the third episode of the series, From Shadows to Spotlight. In the two first videos of the series, we have made a logo, we have talked a bit about social media presence, and we have started to write a song. This video is going to be about how you can brand your music. Now, I'm not a certified pro at this or anything, I just want to share my opinions and my experiences with branding your music. So what are those 4 ways, you may ask? Well, let's jump into it. You can join the big league, trying to get your music into the Spotify editorials playlists, which are playlists created by Spotify's own team. These playlists have a lot of followers and a lot of listeners, so here you can really catch some listeners to your songs. To do this, you'll need a song that's planned for release. Just pitch a song for the track you want to submit. Then you need to choose the genres and other general information. So let's write something like, Dear Mr. Spotify, please consider adding my need for you to like the song and love me. My senpai noticed me.
Notice me, senpai.
Although there is a catch with this method, and that is I'm competing with... Wait. How many songs was it again? I don't know. I tried to Google the matter. Somewhere between like 30,000 and 150,000 songs a day. So you're competing with between 30,000 and 150,000 other tracks being released the same day that you release your track. It's a stretch. So that brings me over to my next point, which is... social media. I think the use of social media now is basically essential. There are so many artists out there who has released music and they have kept on pushing videos on TikTok of the song, and they have just become huge artists now. So there's a bunch of ways that you can go forward to do this. If you're a singer, you can make an acoustic version of the song, or you can try to do something funny with using the track as a background track or something like that. I think that the most important part here is to try out some different stuff and try some different styles on your videos. And also try to find like your way, your style, what works best for you. And another important part seems to be just release a bunch of videos. On to the next topic. You can submit your music to daily playlists and SubmitHub. Daily playlists is all about exposure through playlisting, while SubmitHub also exposes your music to playlists, but in addition, they also offers to expose your music to blogs and labels. On these platforms, you use credits, either purchase ones or the ones you get for free. Pitching your music on these platforms are fairly simple. You just choose the genres that fit your song, and then you select the playlists that you would like your song to end up in. And then you just have to wait for their response. I should also mention that playlists where you pay a certain amount to have a guaranteed placement is usually pretty shady, meaning that the listeners or the followers might be bots. If you're in doubt, you can use a website like isitagoodplaylist.com, and there you can check the credibility. I'll leave the links for everything that I talk about in this video in the description. But wait! Before you release your song on your own, why don't you try to pitch it to a label first? Getting your song signed by a label can be a great way to get your music out there. Labels often have their own playlists and connections with other playlist curators, blogs, and influencers with a large amount of followers that can really give your song a significant boost. Labels usually take a cut of the income of the song, but this is often worth it because of the benefits that the label can offer you in return. For example, I have released a track myself using a smaller label. They got my song into several playlists, which ended up with that song being my #1 most streamed song. Pitching your music to labels is very simple using a site like Label Radar. Here you just choose the genres of your song and you fill in the basic information about the song, and then you can choose to either send it to one label if you have someone special in mind, or you can pitch the song to several labels at once. I told you in the last episode that I would touch in on the song in this episode as well. I went over to a friend of mine's place to see if he could figure something out. The first thing he did was to clean up my project because he hates how I have no structure in my song and there's just like empty tracks and stuff everywhere. He hates that. So he fixed up that. and he had a few ideas to fill up the soundscape in the chorus, and that was basically it. Right now I'm at a state where I'm not sure what I want to do. I feel like I have two ways that I can go here. I can either say like, okay, I'm happy with it, I just have to do better recordings of everything and just release a song, or I have to do some major changes, like change up the rhythm, change up the melodies, change up everything basically. I'm not sure yet. I will come back and do a fourth episode of this series in the future when I have released a few songs and I have branded it out as best as I can, so I can give more insights on what worked for me and what I could have done better when starting a new music brand. Now, if you did like this video, please consider hitting the subscribe button so you'll get notified the next time when I upload. Goodbye.